Have you ever felt this before? You genuinely like someone. Talking to them feels easy. Meeting them at a cafe feels fine. But the moment they say, "Maybe I can come over to your place," something inside you quietly tightens. Not anger, not dislike, just exhaustion before they even arrive. If you've ever felt this way, this video is not here to judge you. There is a very specific kind of person. They don't hate people. They don't dislike socializing, but they deeply dislike having guests in their home. It may sound selfish at first, but when you look closer, it's actually a very natural psychological response. In fact, people like this are often deeply thoughtful, emotionally perceptive, and very considerate of others. And ironically, that's exactly why they get tired so easily. For some people, home is not just a place to live, it's the only place where they are allowed to fully let their guard down. No smiling on command, no social skills, no roles to play. When someone comes over, even someone they love, they have to switch back on. The host version, the polite version, the everything is fine version. And that costs a lot of energy. They're not tired of the guest. They're tired of not being themselves. There's a fear that rarely gets spoken out loud. Is my place clean enough? What will they think of me? Am I a good enough host? For sensitive people, their home reflects who they are. So when someone enters their space, it can feel like that person is stepping directly into their inner world. And that vulnerability can feel overwhelming. They're not afraid of company. They're afraid of being seen too clearly. Sometimes, this discomfort doesn't come from the present. It comes from old emotional memories. Maybe they once were forced to entertain guests while exhausted, grew up in a home where visitors created tension, or had their personal space repeatedly violated. The brain learns something very simple. Guests mean stress. So now, every time guests are expected, the brain quietly whispers, "Let's avoid this," not to punish them, but to protect them. The truth is, people who dislike having guests are often deeply kind. They don't want to fake warmth. They don't want to perform politeness. They don't want anyone to feel unwelcome. So they choose distance before resentment appears, not because they are cold, but because they value emotional honesty. And sometimes, the most loving thing a person can do is to know when they need to be alone. If this feels like you, there is nothing wrong with you. You are simply someone who needs more space to recover and breathe. And if this video made you feel understood, consider subscribing to this channel. This is a place where you don't have to perform, don't have to explain, and don't have to be on. We'll slow down together and learn to be a little gentler with ourselves